Well, listen, I just want to say it's a great honor to speak with you today. I mean, of course, we're talking with legendary rock photographer Mark Weiss. I mean, your photographs, of course, captured the look and the aesthetic of music of the 1980s, and we're especially talking with you today about your first book called The Decade That Rocked. And of course, the decade we're talking about is the 1980s.
Yes, it is.
So, I first became aware of your work by way, like a lot of other people did, by way of the Bon Jovi Slippery When Wet album. But I was even more excited because when I was younger, I had joined the Bon Jovi Secret Society, which was their fan club. And it came with a monthly newspaper newsletter with a lot of photos in it and a lot of stories about them on tour and such. And with the membership came a little card and two photographs, and one of them is that Slippery When Wet photograph of the whole band together. They're on a street, and there's like a lake or a body of water behind them. And I still have that to this day, and Richie Sambora had signed it for me, and it's hanging right above my desk here. And that's when I first became aware of your work, and I've been following you ever since.
Awesome. Yeah, actually, I just pulled that photo up. I'm donating that to a foundation for kids with cancer. They're having a gala, and they asked for some photos, so I'm donating one of my books and actually that particular photo.
Oh, is that an original you're donating?
Yeah.
Wow. Now I wanted to ask you because, of course, now we're in the digital age, and I'm sure that you've gone digital with most of your shooting. But do you still shoot with regular film and work in a darkroom?
No, I don't. I haven't done that for a while, really. Yeah, I mean, I love digital now. And, when it first came out, it wasn't as strong because they had to catch up megapixels as opposed to, as far as enlarging and blowing things up. But now it's been pretty much, covered where it's unparalleled to anything, really. You can make it look like film if you want. So I'm definitely a believer in digital. I have my old Mobias and Hasselblads and all that. They're sitting in my garage, and they haven't came out for decades. Actually, they just came out because I have a museum exhibition at a museum down in the county I live in called Monmouth Museum, and I recreated the Slippery When Wet shirt photo with the girl Angela. So I set up the plexiglass. I have my Mavia. And I actually have the T-shirt as well that's on display there, which will be there until November 1st.
Oh, wow. I tell you, over the years working with so many different rock bands, you must have an amazing collection of your own of some type of memorabilia and stuff. What is one of your favorite things that you have in your possession from all of these years with all these different bands?
Well, probably that T-shirt that I cut up back in 1986. Yeah, so that would be definitely that, as well as the Come Out and Play set. It was a street that I had my dad helped me build. He was in construction, and it was a real street. It was like 2 tons, and the street was there, and it says "Come Out and Play" in pink. And then I have the manhole cover, which is a real. We actually poured a real manhole. So that's actually at the Hard Rock in Vegas. It's probably in storage now, but they have it. It's been on display there. So that the manhole cover would be one for sure. And also I have Dee's mummy wrap, because we wrapped them in this mummy, kind of like a swamp with fingernails chewed up and everything. So I kept all that stuff.
Wow, man. All iconic pieces of memorabilia to have for sure. I find it really interesting how you kind of got started in photography with mowing lawns and actually working to earn your first camera that the guy gave you as payment.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere.
It's amazing how things come into play, though. I mean, if you had never gotten the idea of, let me go mow some lawns and make some money and stuff, I mean, who knows where you would be today. But if you weren't as successful as you are as a photographer today, what do you think you might be doing otherwise to earn a living, maybe?
I'd probably still be mowing lawns.
Yeah. Hey, there's money in that too, man.
Yeah, if I didn't knock on that one door, or if that one guy, my neighbor, like, because when I knocked on the door, he's like, no, I mow my own lawn, and I'm like, and I'm 12 years old or 13 years old at the time, and I said, well, it doesn't look like you do because it was really long, and he kind of like he looked at me like I was like a smart ass, but in a good way, and he's like, I'll tell you what I'll do, kid, I'll give you this camera if you mow my lawn for the season. And I was like, oh, all right. I'm thinking like, all right, I'll just hawk this for a few $100.
Yeah.
And he gave it to me, and then I just started looking at it. I was like, let me see what this is about. And then I started getting involved with taking pictures. And then I reached out to my teacher in middle school. They had a darkroom program. So he taught me how to develop film during the summer when classes weren't in session. And then I just got, I got the bug, I was, they had a dark room. It was really cool. I mean, at the time I was into like space, the Apollo missions were happening. And, I went into this dark room. It was like a cylinder. You go in and you just turn it and and you go inside and then you see this big timer, a glow in the dark timer with chemicals and enlargers and things. And it just looked magical. And it kind of gave me that feeling like I was in space, and so it was cool.
Yeah, I wish I would have been there to see the look on your face when you saw that blank, piece of paper and the image just starting to show up on it. I mean, that must have blew your mind.
Well, that did blow my mind because to me it was like magic. I couldn't believe it. So that really was a game changer for me. I'm like, whoa, this is really cool.
So, of course, we're talking today about the decade that rocked. I mean, this is... I have the digital copy, but actually tomorrow I'm going to be ordering my hard copy from the website, which is thedecadethatrocked.com. And on there you have a lot of different packages available people can buy, whether it's just the book, a book with postcards, a book with shirts, and a whole different array of different things you can order. So I'll be ordering mine tomorrow. So why now with this book after all these years?
I don't know. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to commit to do it because I knew it would be a big commitment. And then I just felt it was time. And it took me a while to get started and to figure out how I wanted to do it. And then it took a good 5 years of really piecing it together to make it like perfect. So everything was worth the wait. It was the right time. I feel now is a good time for it to come out, even though I would have liked to have done a book tour. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic, I can't. I was gonna shadow around a lot of the rock bands and go on, the classic rock radio stations, do galleries, do foundation, some silent auctions, some foundations throughout the country and raise some money and awareness to what they're trying to help. But so now I'm just kind of staying at home locally, doing some smaller, at the Model Museum I have an exhibition where I do book signings every Friday until November 1st.
Oh, wow.
So that's happening where I can meet some people. But it's a feel-good book during this time. So a lot of people are home and they're looking for something to read and do. And this is good timing for something like that. And then when things open up, I'll give it another run.
Oh, man, I hope you do go on a book tour, man, and bring it on down to Florida.
Where in Florida are you from?
Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, yeah.
We have a real nice art gallery down here. We have a few of them. One of them just opened up in the new Hard Rock Guitar Hotel. I'm sure you've heard about it, the Guitar Hotel.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking for a place to relocate, and I want it to be Florida because my grandson lives there with his father in Palm Coast. So I'm looking for a place in Florida where I can take this museum in the beginning of November, and I'm going to start digging in and reaching out. So if you know anyone or anything or have a contact anywhere, let me know.
Yeah, we have an art gallery called Wentworth Gallery, and it's nationwide. And a lot of the musicians that are now becoming artists, such as Paul Stanley and Rick Allen of Def Leppard, Rick Ocasek before he passed was doing a tour as well. So we have a lot of these rockers that are coming out, and they're doing fantastic artwork, and they're showing them in a lot of these galleries. But I mean, for you to bring your prints to these galleries and actually have originals and signed prints and things like that, I think you would do fantastically well, especially at the one in the Guitar Hotel, because hey, it's a guitar-shaped hotel, and we got the greatest rock photographer in the world there. So I mean, what better is that?
Is that where the Wenthrop is in the Hard Rock?
Yeah, they have one located there and a couple other places here. But they have
I know the owner, and he's approached me, and actually I'm going to be placing it. It's on my list to call him this week, so you might even see me there.
Oh, dude, you got to come down, man. It's phenomenal. It'll blow your mind.
Yeah. Thanks for reminding me.
Definitely. Now, when you were doing shooting a lot of these bands in the '80s, did a lot of the bands give you like carte blanche with the direction, or do a lot of them have an idea of what they already want to do in a photo shoot?
No, they gave me. Well, it depends. Like Twisted Sister had an idea to do "Stay Hungry." Blackie from Weiss with "The Last Command." Under Lock and Key was kind of my idea, which they are not too thrilled about the way, but it wasn't my thing. It's just the wardrobe didn't come out so good as they expected. But yeah, Come Out and Play was Dee Snider. Yeah, it's a collaborative thing.
I had heard that Ozzy was pretty good with just letting you run with what you wanted to do.
Yeah, all Ozzy's things were mostly my ideas. We always had fun. He trusted me. I just wanted to have fun with the guy, and he was a good person to come up with crazy things, And they weren't really super thought out, those things, but, I kind of threw them together, and those are some of the most memorable photographs, really, in the book.
Oh, yeah, and they're so iconic. I mean, you see them, and it's just like, it just takes you back to that time, and they're just so fantastic, man. Now, what advice would you give to someone looking to become a photographer, kind of like you? I mean, I don't think it's something you could ever plan, though, right? Like, I want to be a rock photographer, Is it something you can plan, or you just fall into, you think?
Well, I just fell into it,
yeah.
But nowadays, kids, and I'm sure back then, people, wanted to be a rock photographer, but, I don't know. I think the ones that plan it don't ever have the success to where me or Neil or Russ had. But there's like definitely a string of B photographers and C photographers that kind of like gave it their all in that genre, but then fell off the face of the earth and didn't keep going with whatever it was. It didn't have to be, if metal and rock were kind of dying out and things were switching.
Yeah.
I didn't let that stop me from being a photographer, because I started being a rock photographer, but then I became a photographer in the 80s. I mean, I shot celebrities and pop. I shot, Culture Club, and I shot The Cure, and I've done stuff for, I did Rodney Dangerfield and Drew Barrymore, because I've met all these people on my journey, with other publishing companies. And so I'm a photographer, If you want to be a photographer, be a photographer. It shouldn't be about, like, you want to be a rock photographer. I mean, you could, but really, it just kind of limits you.
Yeah, just be a photographer and kind of see which direction it takes you, I guess.
Right. If you can have a successful career by just doing rock and roll, then great. But don't like turn your back on other opportunities that go your way.
Makes sense, of course. Now, I think you would probably agree that part of your great success has been word of mouth advertisement.
Yeah, that's how it's always been, really.
Yeah, one band says, "Hey, look at what he did for me, man," and they're like, "Wow, that's freaking awesome!" And then boom, 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 all the doors start opening.
I never had a portfolio, and like, this is my portfolio. This book.
Perfect.
This is my portfolio.
Now, I also heard that you're probably going to have a high-end shirt line coming out soon.
Yeah, it's going to be coming out pretty soon. I made some deals with Stephen Piercy, Tom Kiefer, Dee Snider, and I'm talking with Steven Adler and Sebastian Bach to put out Don Doc and do skateboards and high-end shirts with like designs on it. Not your typical shirt. It's not going to say the name of the band on it. Mm-hmm. It's about the individual, and it would be one of my classic photos that was in my book.
Oh, that sounds great. So what kind of stores can we expect these items to be sold in?
Like Bloomingdale's, and like other specialty
Neiman Marcus stores and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, great. Well, listen, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to talk with rockbandreviews.com today. It's an honor and a pleasure to speak with you. And again, let's get you down here. Make that call to Wentworth, and they'll fly you in. They'll take real good care of you. They'll put you up in that damn guitar hotel, and we'll advertise the hell out of it. Get people to come out, and of course, everybody get the Decade That Rocked. It's available right now. You can definitely get it on Amazon and other outlets, but I would honestly recommend going to the decadethatrocked.com because you have so many different packages available where you can get shirts, prints. You also have still photos that you sell on there as well, and sign them and stuff. Books can be personalized, so everybody needs to check that out. And hey, just stay safe out there, my friend, and when the world opens up again, hopefully we'll see you on the road and see you down here in Florida soon, man.
All right, thanks for having me. Thanks a lot, brother.
All right, cheers, bro. All
right, bye.
Bye.